for joining me today. My name is Myra Moore with Moore Football LLC. Joining me today is the defensive lineman, Eddie Hamilton, out of Rowan University. Eddie, hi. Thank you for being here today. So how's it going? Before we get into all the good stuff, how are you doing? How are you doing hanging, holding in with the whole corona pandemic going on?
Man, yeah, it's been a little different, man. Like working out has become like more of a chore. Everything's inside, so my room has become not only my sanctuary for gaming and stuff because I like gaming, but it's been my dojo. So I have my dumbbells here, my resistance bands. I have my heavy bag downstairs in my basement, which I hit for cardio because cardio's been crazy. I don't know if you heard, but New Jersey's kind of like the second state in the nation with high corona count.
Really?
So we actually have police. Yeah, we actually have police officers like patrolling. Like you can't be at the park right now. You can't be anywhere for too long that you're not getting anything that you actually need. So water, food, medical attention. If you're not getting any of those things, you're not out on the street. They're getting you off.
Wow. So you're like on a true lockdown. You're not even allowed outside.
Yeah. Yeah, 24 hours.
Wow, I didn't know that. I know New York is one of the harder hit states and they're on complete lockdown. I didn't know New Jersey was, but it makes sense because you guys have so many people over there. So no, that's good that you're focusing on your training because I've noticed we've seen a lot of players or athletes are starting to kind of slack off, and that's one thing you don't want to do, especially we don't know how long this is going to last or how long it's going to affect our world. So definitely continuing the training is amazing. So tell me a little bit about yourself. How tall are you? How much do you weigh? The different positions that you play, all those good details.
All right, so I'm 6'4", but I usually go by 6'5" because I'm that in between 6'4" to 6'5". Like I'm right there, but I'm not. 260 pounds. My first 3 years at Rowan University, I played defensive end, which I loved and I still love. But I actually ended up converting to D tackle my senior year to help out my team because we weren't looking so hot in the D tackle spot. So fill some gaps. But I basically got that spot because my junior year I was basically the Swiss Army knife guy. I was the defensive end and D tackle, so I played both. So then senior year we needed help, stepped up and I played and I loved it. I tell you what though, it gave me a new respect for the word trenches. Playing defensive end, playing D line basically. We always get told to wear the trenches, but until you play D tackle, you ain't in them trenches, man.
Right. They're the unsung heroes of the line. I mean, they really are. They're our soldiers. If we need them to hold that line, they do. So I'm glad that you said what you said because it's true. Nobody really appreciates them until they're thrown in that position. And then you're like, maybe I don't want to do this.
Yeah, no, a lot of people, I'm telling you, a lot of people get that. I'm telling you, everyone wants to get in there. Like, when I first got in there, like, a couple of guys got in there with me, and I was like, bro, it's different in here, man. Getting double teamed hurts.
Getting pancakes?
Look, I'll give you one time. I got pancaked, I think it was in practice, because the guard came and pulled, and I was already locked in on somebody. And I look, and the guard hits me, and the guy I was on was already dropping his feet. So I was like, oh, no.
It happens.
Right.
No, I'm glad you had a great experience with it. But so which position do you like better? Where do you think that you're going to end up? If a team were to come, and talk to you and offer you a position, what do you think is better, is suited for you?
My biggest thing right now is I feel like I'm more comfortable, and I feel like I get more out of the position playing D tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Third down, stuff like that, D tackle, but I'm primarily a defensive end. I've had some coaches come up to me from the CFL and say, hey, have you ever tried playing linebacker? Have you ever tried playing tight end? I saw that you have speed, would you ever convert? And I'm like, I would. Hey, look, that's what money's at, I'm going. But my position is defensive end.
Nice.
Love defensive end.
So what do you have going on for you right now? Do you have any pro days? I know everything's kind of on hold, but what do you have in the works?
Yeah, so both of my pro days were sent back. The one in Pittsburgh that I have is sent back to May 2nd, and then I have one May 12th. So the one in May 12th is in Kansas City. So that would be the Kansas City Chiefs training facility, and then I have one in Pittsburgh, which will be the Pittsburgh training facility. Both pro days. So
Yes.
excited.
I'll actually be at the May 2nd one, as long as it continues. So I'm excited about that. I'll be seeing a whole lot of you guys out there and hopefully doing some live interviews. But I'm rooting for everybody, and I'm praying that it continues because that's a big one. I think a lot of people are banking on the May 2nd pro day. It's tough right now, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen day to day and if it's going to be a nationwide lockdown. So I'm hoping it doesn't get to that point. But there's a silver lining, which extra days for training, home training, right?
I mean, this gives us 8 weeks to train, man. You can't, there's no excuses.
Exactly. And speed is the biggest thing. And it's hard, especially for you because you can't even go outside. But I mean, that is like the biggest focus right now this is the time, this is like the free time for you to work on your speed, no matter what position you're in. So that would be my only tip. So I do have a question for you though. What's your motivation? What's keeping you going day by day, and why do you want to continue down a career path of football? Because we know there's so many, there's tons of men just like you doing the same thing. So what keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated? Oh man, it's the love, the fire from it. It's just like, because I never got to play high school, and I kind of feel like this has been like my growing and loving and understanding of football. And I feel like through playing through college, it's like really put me at this point where I'm like, dude, like I can do this. Like coming from running around my neighborhood doing sprints, really just running with my track team my senior year of high school to now playing, D3 football, being offered a scholarship to play D2 and D1 and playing D3. And then, I feel like it's really just like made me more driven because I see my potential. I know where I can be. I've had coaches on the D1 level tell me you should be here. If you would have played high school football, I would have recruited you and you would be here. You know what I mean? So I know I have what it takes. It's just all a matter of now me pulling that potential out of myself and going from potential to actual, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I totally understand that. How come you didn't play in high school?
My parents actually got a divorce my freshman year of high school, and that really played a pivotal role for me mentally. So mentally, I was just trying to survive high school because so high school it's
brutal.
Yeah. It's like it definitely like molds you into the person you're roughly going to be the rest of your life. But I feel like college really lets you know who you're really going to be because then it's you. There's no teacher or parent, breathing down your back trying to make sure you're okay. At the end of the day, it's you. You gotta go to class. You gotta make your grades.
It's a whole different environment. You're a true adult then. I mean, it's like you said, it's you. Either you do it or you don't, and if you don't, you're gonna fail, and that's solely on your shoulders. So interesting. Well, to me that's very interesting because like most athletes, it's literally from Pop Warner to high school to college, and it's like that's all that they do. And you're in a different situation. So you didn't do the high school, but you did the college, and to have that type of talent and skill, literally skipping over this 4 years, this whole chunk of basically training and go straight into college, and to be able to have the skill that you do, that's amazing. They're right. That's really good. And I guess the silver lining with that is you didn't have any of those injuries that you could potentially get in high school, right? The extra concussions, because we know that the rule in the NFL is if you get 4 concussions, you're done. You're automatically retired. So you're like fresh.
Exactly. That's what I hear from a lot of coaches.
That's interesting. To me, that's very interesting, actually. So schooling, you're graduating this year, right?
Yes.
What's your major?
So my major is human performance in a clinical setting, also known as exercise science. So it'll be more, but my career path is more geared toward helping out PT, OT, but more geared toward athletes. So if an athlete is injured or tears his ACL, I'm not the athletic trainer, I'm the one at the hospital that sees the athlete and trains like specifically athletes. You know, my target population is athlete.
Nice. So it's like almost like the doctor, but the one that they assign. So when you're in the hospital, because I'm trying to think. So when you're at the hospital and they assign you for rehab, that's who you are going to be.
Yes.
That's interesting. I like that. And what about with the whole corona? Are they going to let you guys walk? What is like your graduation looking like? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, the craziest thing is that we haven't even received an email. I mean, right now, as of last week, we just got the email that no one can come to campus and all the classes are going to be all online.
Yeah.
So it's like we're just getting updated as it goes on. We might even have an online graduation ceremony. We don't know.
Wow, that is so tough.
It is. It's crazy. I mean, New Jersey being the second state, having the second most cases in the U.S. really doesn't help.
And it's so scary because we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we're not on a full lockdown yet, but it could happen if this continues to swing the way it's going and, with the cases increasing, we may end up being on a full lockdown. But it's just tough because you spend a minimum of 4 years in college, minimum, depending on your degree. And everybody looks forward to that walking. So, but I get it. I mean, we all have to do our parts and stay home.
True.
So this is your last hurrah.
Yes.
You're a 20 prospect. You have, teams are obviously looking because there's not too much that they can do, but other than look at film, watch interviews, all that good stuff. So this is your last hurrah to a team, to an XFL, CFL, NFL. What makes you different? What if they were to sit down and offer you a contract right now and ask you, what will you bring that's different from the next guy? What would you bring? What would you tell them?
Oh man, just a different type of resilience. And see, the thing about me is that I love playing speed to power. So I feel like a lot of coaches that have seen me play, me playing Division 3, Division 3 isn't really so much of taking a guy and making him better. It's just more of taking a guy and fitting him in a position that helps the team and making the team better. So I really feel like being in a professional setting where it's like, okay, you are the defensive end. I want you to train with this coach and this trainer and this nutritionist. And as soon as I have all those pieces, I'm already good now, but I'm gonna blossom into a professional athlete, in 100% in that realm, because I've gotten this far without any of it. Just love for the game, love for my coaches, love for my team, love for the players, and I really feel like being able to have that structure around me, you'll see a different me. But on top of that, the guy that I am in the locker room, and a lot of people will vouch for me and say that I'm a natural born leader. And at the same time, I'm a dog on the field. I love it. I love playing, and that's exactly what they're gonna get is a dog.
And actually, you hit on a couple of things that I want to mention before we wrap up. You have raw talent, no bad habits, meaning a lot of these athletes that come from high school, and not dissing them or anything like that, but some of them may have bad habits, right? So it's a lot of stuff that once you get into college, you have to unlearn or change. So you always have to be willing to change and grow and learn. You, on the other hand, like we said earlier, you're fresh. You're literally this undiscovered gem that they can mold into the type of player that they want because you have no bad habits. So that to me is like a major asset. That's a major point on your area because you're moldable, and that's
I appreciate you pointing that out. That's very
right.
That's very exciting.
This is the guy that we want. No bad habits. No, that's amazing. Well, I want to thank you so much for being with me today. Definitely and then that's what really actually brought you to my attention is because I saw your videos. And I love when guys post their stuff. And if I see them, I'm going to retweet them. But definitely post videos. Continue doing that because that's your only, your marketing right now is your videos and online. And, if you can, I know you mentioned you have your own little stand, so that's amazing. But if you have somebody that's quarantining with you, have them record you because that's going to be your best avenue right now. But thank you so much for being here, everybody. Eddie Hamilton, I think he's gonna hit the airwaves, and everybody's gonna be kind of shocked with from what I saw with your film. You got it.
I appreciate you.
You're welcome. And I hope to see you May 2nd. As long as everything goes as planned, definitely be out there May 2nd. And everybody else, thank you guys so much for being here with us today. Take a look at his film. I have it posted to this post as well. Like, retweet, share. Interviews are still ongoing. Give me a call, DM me, let me know. It's just something we're going to do current day with no cost. So understand that right on the website there is, a fee to do an interview. As of right now, due to the COVID-19, we are waiving all costs. So if you want to do an interview with me, hit me up. Other than that, thank you all.